Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Casil and welcome to STEM Physics. I'm sorry I'm not here with you live this evening, but as you've all experienced, remote learning puts pressures and challenges at home for all of us. So I have a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old baby, so bedtime is one of those times that they just need a mommy. So this video will substitute for my real self, just like your students experience frequently, and then please feel free to complete the form and reach out for any special questions that you have, and I'd be happy to arrange a time that we can talk. So, welcome and thank you for being here tonight. So, a little bit about me. This is my 15th year teaching. I love working with teenagers and I love teaching science. So, even though this is working differently, your students will have lots of opportunities to do creative hands-on science at home as often as possible. So, if you see somebody tinkering with stuff in the junk drawer, know that it's for a good reason. So I graduated from the University of Portland with a Master's of Teaching in 2006. In 2005, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Physics and Spanish. And I decided to become a teacher after attending a poetry reading. So I was struck by how passionately sincere the pursuit of science is and how fundamentally human it is to wonder about these awesome things in the universe. I got inspired to study physics in the first place by reading a Newsweek article when I was a junior in high school. I had no interest in science really prior to that. I was not very good at physics either. And then I read this article, which completely inspired me to pursue physics as my degree. And I am so grateful for that moment of destiny. So this class will be taught, as you see, about 2.5 days a week. There's a calendar on our homepage. I'll go over sort of how Canvas works for us, but in general, I will be meeting live with your students on Monday or Tuesday. On Wednesday and Thursday, there is synchronous work students are expected to do. So during that class time, there is classroom content for them, but it's work that can be done independently, or I'm available through email or through Canvas to answer questions throughout the day. So that's the general flow for how our class will work. Grades will be updated about once a week. Since there's so much flexibility and we want to support students who are working and going to school and have siblings and families and normal life impacting their schoolwork at home, uh, I'll try to update grades at once a week so that there's that prolonged period for students to submit things. There's also a 2-week close date after the due date of any assignment. So if a student misses something during the week in which it's assigned, they can go and complete that, and then they probably have to wait for the next sort of grading period for me to go in and update that grade, but that grade can be updated even though the assignment was completed late. There's no penalty for late work. There is a lot of independent learning your students will need to do, but they shouldn't be burdened by homework and they shouldn't need to sit in front of their Chromebook for hours on behalf of my class. If that is ever the case, please reach out to me and let me know. The best way to do that is using Canvas. There's an inbox that provides really secure access for students and for me, and it helps me keep really clear track of who I've communicated with and make sure I don't miss anybody. So I'm really thrilled that you are here and that your student is in my class. So let me give you a little Canvas tour. Um, so here's what our classroom homepage looks like, right? When students log in, there's this is actually a real photograph of my real classroom. So when the world goes back to normal, your student will get to come to school in this space. So please ignore how many dirty coffee cups are over here and nobody look at the state of my desk. I cannot, be held accountable for that. So on the home page, there's also a calendar. This is actually a Google slide that's embedded here. So every week I will update this with information. That means that you can make it larger to read it for one thing, but you can also click on the screen to go back and navigate through the slides so students can see the previous week's work. So this calendar lists what asynchronous assignments students need to do. So that's the work that they should be doing independently. This is a suggested timeline to help students pace their week. I'm a procrastinator. I'm the person who leaves things for Thursday night, but this is my suggestion to help people keep up with the flow of ideas throughout our week. These are the synchronous assignments. So these are the things students should be doing on our actual scheduled STEM physics class time. Um, and then you'll notice that on Wednesdays and Thursdays, like I said, we usually will not have a Google Meet. This is how an average week is going to lurk. It's going to look. We'll get started on Monday with an idea, and we'll try to group the whole week together around one big idea so that there'll be some introduction, there'll be some practice, there'll be some collaborating on Monday or Tuesday, depending on which section your students are in. Then Wednesday and Thursday will be practice and some independent learning and answering questions. Then Friday we'll wrap up with a tiny quiz and a summary of what students have learned during the week. Usually we'll also set up our notebook for the upcoming week so students can prepare over the weekend or they can anticipate what we're going to be learning. So we'll kind of get in this Friday to Friday sort of flow for how our lessons will work. Canvas is great. There's a to-do list over here. It tells you all the things that your students still need to do. And then over on the left-hand side, you'll see that I have very few links that are posted for students to access. I'll send a weekly announcement, usually with the information about our Google Meet and what time it is. And then everything that we're doing is organized under this Modules tab right here. So our modules are organized by week. So you'll see things are in a numbered order for week 2. This is assignment 1, week 2, assignment 2. And then there's also a little header to help you kind of break up what are we doing on Monday and Tuesday. So when students log in Monday morning and go, gosh, I've got my Google Meet in a half hour, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to be talking about these things here. Wednesday and Thursday, gosh, I'm going to need to work independently today. What am I working on? These things right here. So that structure will be maintained always. Please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me questions. I'm a nerd and think of myself as pretty tech competent, so as much as possible, things will work in a streamlined, functional fashion. But if there ever is a mistake, please let me know. I tell my students every Google Meet that we have that they won't be punished for the technical difficulties that prevent them from engaging fully and completely. There's so many things out of our control right now. Internet speed, the electricity going out, a Chromebook deciding that today is the day it just won't. Those are all things that are out of a student's control. And the same thing's going to happen to me occasionally, that something with all my planning and, and effort isn't going to work the way we thought. And it's going to be okay. I promise you, your students will get a quality science education from this class. It'll just look different. There's a way for students to look at their grades over here, although Skyward is still the place that their most accurate and up-to-date grade is located. And then you can also read the syllabus here for more specifics about how grading will work in this class, if you need to figure out, what topics we're covering at any point in time. There's just some other general information in here. So for the most part, that's what we got going on. At this point, I would feel like I've been talking a long time, and we would either do a science experiment with you all sitting in the chairs, or we would open it up for questions. So please, I'm absolutely ecstatic to have your students in class this year, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to support them through this unusual time. Anything that I can do to help make this an awesome year, please let me know. All right. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you, and please reach out if there's any questions or concerns. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.